Generally, the stocks I lean towards are tech. Tech has done very well over the last 15 plus years. It's dominated the stock market, one might say. However, there's two stocks I really, really love, and one of which is Home Depot. The other is Lowe's. I covered Home Depot a few days ago, right? We're going to be talking about Lowe's today. It is up 135% over the last 5 years. S&P 500 is only up about 90%. It also beats it with its dividend. It is higher, 1.7, compared to about 1.3 right now. And if we zoom out the last, since early 2015, late 2014, we're up from high 60s to 273. So we're outperforming the S&P 500 there as well, which is only up about 200%. And if we go, actually, this is when it really gets crazy. If you go to Lowe's in 2009, clearly there was a financial crisis that hit real estate really, really hard. And Lowe's and Home Depot specifically, I think over this stretch, there's been many times where if you include reinvesting dividends, it is Home Depot's blown out Apple in terms of performance. And Lowe's probably isn't quite that high, but they've still done very well. Lowe's of 15, right? And now we're at 273. If you reinvest dividends, it's even greater. So Lowe's has done phenomenal. Another reason I really like it, which you could, compare it to Home Depot, and this would have a slight edge here, even though the performance isn't as good. The forward PE is a lower. Home Depot forward PE is about, Home Depot PE is about 35. So forward PE here of 23. This is basically right on the money of the S&P 500. The S&P 500 PE is 27, forward PE is 23. So we're expected to go flat next year. However, Home Depot has traditionally beat. Also, this may be relatively tame, right? But even if we get Lowe's running sideways for another year, not earning anything crazy, you still get a decent dividend, but also home building will pick up, right? Another thing with it performing this well over the last 5 years is this has not been a good home building market. It's actually been terrible. So the fact that they've maintained their value over the last 2 years is actually really, really good. Rates have been super high. No one can afford mortgages. No one's building housing. And that's what Lowe's and Home Depot thrive on. So the fact that we're sitting here beating the S&P 500 over this time frame, when that includes all those tech stocks like Nvidia to carry it, is just crazy, right? I think it's super impressive. I really do. I'm really high on Lowe's and Home Depot specifically. The only reason I don't own more is because I own enough already. And Schwab agrees with me here, right? They give it an A rating. So they think it's going to be in the top 9% of all stocks performing over the next year. They reiterated that 2 days ago. I agree with them. I don't know if it's going to be quite that good over the next year, but in terms of if I stamped my 3 to 5 year outlook on it, I think it's going to do really well. I don't do 1 year outlooks. I'm not a trader. I'm not that smart. I can look at companies and go, okay, this company's successful. It's relatively cheap. It's well positioned. I want to buy this. I can't do, oh yeah, this thing's going to be here in a year because this is it. I don't quite know that much, but yeah. Another thing I think is really important here, economic moat. Why? I did a video on economic moat if you don't know what that is, but it's just their competitive advantage. They have a strong competitive advantage. There's really only two players. It's Home Depot and Lowe's. They have kind of their own specific niches of it. Now there's, of course, some local stuff, I'm sure. But these two have just been dominant. $154 billion market cap. It's more than just retail. There's a reason they put specialty retail there, right? You got a buy rating here, neutral, buy rating there. Moderate ESG scores, whatever you think of that. The dividend also historically, look at that increasing. How much this is when people talk about dividends are really only super important when they're compounding, right? And this is a company that has compounding interest. Same with Home Depot, or compounding dividends, not interest, because it's a growing company. So you're getting the dividend that just keeps increasing year after year after year. Let's take a look at what the PE is historically. Yeah, we're a little bit more expensive than we have been, but yeah, everyone was low on it because rates were trash, so everyone was scared. So you could have made a lot of money if you went contrary to it or were looking a little ahead, but it's not always easy to do that. But this isn't an expensive company at all by any stretch. It's not crazy cheap, but it's not at all expensive. It looks like, from what I could pick up, 19 of the 38 are saying buy, so that's over half. Usually for growth-centric stocks, you'd want about 2/3, right? Although it doesn't really matter a whole lot. This is right around that. I wouldn't even necessarily call this a growth stock. It's somewhere in between It's not super expensive, but it has also good growth. It's fine. It's fine ratings. Nothing crazy here. Kind of near price targets, but then again, we're near all-time highs, so that shouldn't be too surprising for a stock like this. I think I've covered most of what I want to on Lowe's. It's a good company long term. It's one of my favorite. I absolutely love it. I love the price. I love the performance. I love where it can go. I think it's fairly cheap. Anyways, that's all I really want to cover in this video. If you enjoyed, I'd appreciate it if you left a like or subscribe. I do daily stock content on this channel. Thanks for watching.